Hello dear students, welcome back once again to Kamala Online Learning. We are back again with another informative video lesson from your schedule. Please be completely attentive during the teaching. Keep your textbook and also a rough book with you. Note down important points and difficult or new words as we go. This video lesson will begin with an overview which will give you an idea about the contents of the lesson. It will be followed by learning objectives. Please note down the learning objectives in your notes and try to answer them at the end of the session. If you have any doubts, rewatch the video and refer to your textbook and study material. In case you need further clarification, please mail your doubts to kamalaonlinelearning@gmail.com. This video is recorded with simple, easy to understand language and eye-catching graphics. We hope it helps you to understand the concepts better. So, let's get started.
Welcome to the unit School Life. The unit School Life focuses on how the life is at school. It reminds us of the naughty deeds and the punishments and happy times with friends and teachers. This unit is classified into 3 reading sections. They are A. Swami is expelled from school. B. Not just a teacher, but a friend. Poem. C. Homework. Welcome to the reading section. Swami is expelled from school of the unit School Life.
Overview. Let us have a look at the overview. The overview slide consists of 3 sections, namely Introduction, Instruction, and Evaluation. The Introduction section is meant to motivate the student to learn the lesson. The Instruction section divides the contents of the lesson into 4 subsections. They are Content, Communication, Constructive Components, and Enrichment Activities. The lesson is covered under Content. All the activities pertaining to the 4 skills of language and their assessment are covered under the sections Communication and the Constructive Components. The enrichment activities are meant to widen the scope of the student's thinking and learning, thereby making him or her a global citizen. The extent of understanding of the module can be assessed by the student under the Evaluation section. Learning objectives. By the end of this section, you will be able to
Describe the childish and naughty behavior of the children. Experience fun in the responses of the children. Identify noun clauses. Convert direct speech into indirect speech. Observe the image and discuss the answers with your friends. Why do you think is the teacher punishing the student? What changes should the punishment bring in the student's behavior? Does the image remind you of any incident of your real life? Other than punishing, do you think there are any other ways to bring change in the student's behavior?
About the author.
The present section, Swami is expelled from school, is one of the interesting works of Mr. R.K. Narayan. Let us know more about the author now. R.K. Narayan, 10th October 1906 to 13th May 2001, shortened from Rasipuram Krishnaswamy Iyer Narayanaswamy, was an Indian author whose works of fiction include a series of books about people and their interactions in an imagined town in India called Malgudi. He is credited with bringing Indian literature in English to the rest of the world. Swami and Friends, The Bachelor of Arts, The English Teacher, and The Financial Expert are his popular works. The present extract is from Swami and Friends. His narratives highlight social context and provide a feel for his characters through everyday life. In a writing career that spanned over 60 years, Narayan received many awards and honors. These include the A.C. Benson Medal from the Royal Society of Literature and the Padma Vibhushan, India's second highest civilian award. The headmaster entered the class. It is written all over his face that he is very angry and something bad is going to happen. Swaminathan wished he were somewhere else other than the classroom at that instant. The headmaster examined the class for a few minutes and asked, "Are you not ashamed of coming and sitting there after what you did yesterday?" He read out a dozen names and ordered them to stand on their benches. As he felt that the punishment was not enough for what they have done, he ordered them, "Stand on your desks." Swaminathan, who was wishing to be somewhere else, is also in the list read out and is now standing on his desk. Because of the special recognition, that is, the special punishment given, he felt intensely insulted. The headmaster gave a lecture. After he is done with the lecture, he demanded them to give an explanation one by one. The first one said,
Sir, I was suffering from severe headache. That is the reason why I did not come to school yesterday.
The headmaster replied,
Is it? Then bring your medical certificate tomorrow.
The second student said,
On my way to school, someone told me that the school would be closed that day, so I went back home, sir.
The headmaster said,
If you are going to listen to such words and be absent to school, you should be flogged. Anyway, why didn't you come to the school to check whether it's true or not?
There was no response from the student. Then the headmaster said in a stern voice,
Your attendance for 10 days is cancelled and you must pay a fine of 10 rupees. Also, you must stand on the desk the entire day.
The third student said,
Sir, I was suffering from headache.
The fourth one said,
Sir, I was suffering from stomachache.
The fifth student said,
Suddenly, when I was starting to school, my grandma died, sir.
The headmaster asked,
Can you bring a letter from your father?
No, sir, I don't have father.
Who is your guardian then?
My grandmother.
Your grandma is dead, isn't she?
Yes, sir, but not this grandmother.
How many grandmothers could anyone have?
The boy remained calm.
Okay, get a letter from your neighbors.
I can't, sir, because none of my neighbors can either read or write. I live in a very illiterate part of Elaman Street.
Fine then. I will send a teacher to your illiterate locality to find out from somebody whether your grandmother is dead.
The boy became tensed. After a pause, he said,
Sir, my neighbors can't answer because my grandmother died in another village.
The headmaster got annoyed with it. He hit the student on his knuckles with a can and said,
You street dog, you're suspended from the school for 15 days.
It was Swaminathan's turn then. He was looking around helplessly. Rajam sat in the third bench looking away purposefully. He was gazing at the board. Swaminathan saw Rajam's ears which turned pink because of the punishment. He was too taken by his thoughts to listen to the headmaster's question. It was the rap on his body that brought him back to his senses.
Why didn't you come to the school yesterday?
The first thing that struck in his mind was,
I would protest that I had never been absent to school.
then he thought,
But I'll be caught as the register is in the class itself and the headmaster will check it for sure.
he then thought of telling that he was suffering from headache. But he dropped the idea with a great pain as it was already used by some other student. The headmaster got angered by the silence of Swaminathan and shouted.
Won't you open your mouth?
He then gave a rap on Swaminathan's right shoulder. Swaminathan stared at the headmaster with eyes filled with tears and started massaging the spot where he was bet.
Don't you dare staring like this without answering. I will kill you if you don't answer my question.
Swaminathan, in a sad tone, stammered.
I couldn't come.
Is it?
The headmaster then turned and asked a boy to bring the peon.
What? Is he going to ask the peon to punish me with the cane? If that happens, I'll bite everyone dead.
Then the peon entered the class.
Now tell me what you know about this rascal standing on the desk.
The headmaster said to him. The peon gave a threatening look and demanded, I saw you breaking the panes, didn't I? Immediately the headmaster added,
Of the ventilators in my room.
all the ways to escape are blocked for Swaminathan as he was caught red-handed. Swaminathan stood calm with a foolish face. The angry headmaster suddenly gave him another whack on the back and said,
Now, what do you say about it, young brigand?
as the fact that he has broken the panes of the ventilator of the headmaster's room came out with an eyewitness, he stayed calm and didn't give an answer. The headmaster again whacked Swaminathan. In a careless voice, Swami said,
Stop beating me, sir. It hurts a lot.
The headmaster became still more angry with the response from Swami and whacked him 4 more times. The headmaster angrily said,
Keep standing on the desk till I announce your dismissal.
the beatings he received were burning the pores in his body. He was very much worried by the words of the headmaster. This desperation caused sudden courage to flood through him. He suddenly jumped off the desk, packed his books, and started moving out of the class fast, muttering,
I don't care for your dirty school.
Glossary. The meanings of certain words along with their usage in a sentence are shown. Click the audio button to listen to the pronunciation of each word.
flushed, ominous, eminence, flog, ascertain, perspiration, knuckles, rap, gowl, discreet, distress, thrash, whack, brigand, desperation, restrain, grasp. Now, we will study about synonyms. Synonyms are the different words which have the same meaning. Consider the following words: happy, glad, joyful, cheerful, elated. These words have different spelling and pronunciation, but their meaning is the same. So, these are called synonyms. In this section, we will learn about phrasal verbs. Observe the given two words leave and behind. As we know, leave is a verb and it means to go away from. The word behind is a preposition and it means at or to the far side of something. But the combination of these two results in the word leave behind, which means to leave something as a token of memory or gift. For example, my grandfather has left behind 100 crores property. Such words which are formed by the combination of a verb and one or two particles or a preposition are called phrasal verbs. Observe the given dialogue. I'm feeling ill. When we want to tell somebody what Ram said, we can do it in two ways. We can repeat Ram's words in direct speech. Ram said, I'm feeling ill. Or we can use reported speech. Ram said that he was feeling ill. And answer the questions follow. Good evening to all the people present here today. It's our pleasure to start this occasion by welcoming you all. We all have gathered here for the annual day celebrations. I welcome our headmaster to preside over the function. Now, I would like to invite the Honorable Chief Guest, our MLA, to come onto the dais. I welcome my teachers, my fellow friends, and schoolmates. I welcome you all and I hope you enjoy the program. Now, I request our headmaster to start the celebration. Thank you.
Summary. Let us recap the highlights of this section.
The story, Swami Expelled from School, is the work of Mr. R. K. Narayan. At the beginning of the story, the headmaster enters the class with a flushed face and reads out the list of students who were absent the previous day. He demands explanation from each student individually. The students come out with silly reasons which the headmaster makes out to be excuses, not the truth. When it was Swami's turn to give an explanation, several thoughts roll in his mind, but none is useful. The headmaster whacks Swami and then calls the peon in. The peon tells the truth that he saw Swami breaking the ventilator panes of the headmaster's room. Left with no choice other than staying calm, Swami stays quiet. The headmaster starts whacking Swami and orders him to stand on the desk. Swami was so hurt both physically and mentally that he jumped down and left the class murmuring, I don't care your dirty school. This shows the naughty and crybaby character of the students.
Test.
You have successfully completed the section Swami is expelled from school.